What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Fraud on the Telly. Today we are starting a new series, the Critical Role Breakdown, where we break down everything that happened on this week's episode of Critical Role, and I give you my thoughts and speculation. I watch this show live every week, Fraud on the Telly in chat by the way, so I figured let's put some of my lore master knowledge to good use. This week we're covering Campaign 3, Episode 19, where the party venture to the town of Hartmoor Hamlet in preparations for their burglary quest from Gianna Hexam, and Imogen learns valuable information about her dreams and the Lumos twins. As always, if you enjoyed the video or learned something new, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Don't forget to check out our other Critical Role and Legend of Vox Machina content. Okay, let's crack on. After meeting with Ivan Hytroga, the proprietor of the Twilight Mirror Museum, the group were told to return at midnight the following day for the strange heist competition. With time to kill, they set off to meet a person named Estoni, an elderly man who was the last person to see the Lumos twins alive. Orem explains they're looking into the death of the Lumos twins, and any information they can get would help greatly. Hytroga tells the party he was with the twins when they were murdered. On that day, he and the twins were walking in a nearby garden when three hooded figures dropped from the trees above, attacking them, killing the twins. Their bodyguard, Oshad Brescio, managed to slay one of these assassins, but its body transformed into a black liquid, while the other two escaped. Estoni and the twins had become friends from their correspondence and shared interest in astronomical solstices. Estoni had spent most of his life researching this phenomenon, specifically on the solstices occurring on the red moon of Ruidus. We learned that those born on these days are considered ruinous born, where the red moon shines bright in the sky, with many common folk hold as an ill omen, while scholars believe that children born on these days are destined for great things, as there are a great many famous Ruidus born people throughout history. As well, we learned that children born on this day often bear strange marks on their bodies and have premonitions or reoccurring nightmares or other psychic interactions and abilities. Sound like any certain spellcaster woman we know? Estoni tells the party the twins had visited the Omen Archive in Eos, where they have done research on the subject. Apparently those of the Omen Archive are attempting to compile a list of all of those who are considered Ruidus born. Estoni then invites the group to return another evening and look through his large telescope. Laudna suggests to Imogen she might be Ruidus born, to which Imogen replies she's not so sure, but she does suspect her mother was, seeing as they discovered she was part of some sort of study that had to do with presumably people who are Ruidus born. It's possible Matt is misdirecting us here, but it very much seems Imogen is Ruidus born, as she possesses markings on her bodies similar to lightning scar strikes, she undergoes a repetitive nightmare, and she has psychic powers. Honestly, it seems a little weird to me that she doesn't seem to think she's Ruidus born, but I guess only time will tell. Estoni shows them the park in which the twins were murdered. Orem manages to uncover a bit of the tar-like substance dried on the tree, while Ashton gets distracted with a never-ending water fountain. Fearne decides to transform into a frog. The party tie a rope around her and she dives into this never-ending fountain. It seems that the fountain itself is some kind of opening to another plane, possibly the plane of water. As Fearne describes shifting currents and changing water temperatures, Imogen notices as well she can't communicate her with her psychic powers. Fearne finally returns after being chased away by some sort of creature with glowing blue eyes. So what the fuck is up with that? Just some random fountain with a portal to the plane of water? I'm really curious if we're ever going to get answers to that, because now I'm just too intrigued. Afterwards, the group split up, buying supplies for the coming heist. Later that night, the party returned to Estoni's home. Orem manages to get a good look at the moon of Ruidus, inviting Imogen to take a look. On the surface of the moon, she sees an ever-going storm of red clouds and lightning. Imogen is taken aback as these storms are almost identical to the storms in her dreams. She wonders why her mother always tells her to run away from these storms, and why she saw the Lumos twins and Bertrand taken into the storm. Laudna believes it's possible that this might have been visions of a potential future, possibly warning of danger of the Lumos twins or Bertrand from her dreams. This is an interesting idea, because we know that Ruidus gives some kind of psionic-like powers, and they've even said in this episode that it has the ability to give prophetic-like dreams or potential psionic abilities. This would also hold true with my speculation theory for this whole thing, which we will get to later on in the video. Estoni mentions that before they had died, the twins had wanted to tell him of an important discovery that they had made, but unfortunately they died before they could reveal it. Imogen is frustrated, not sure what to do next, as her father refused to ever speak to her about her mother. Later that night, Imogen finds herself in the familiar dream. This time, she decides she will act differently. She cries out, asking what the storm wants. Time passes and she sees a figure, a woman, standing before her within the storm. That figure turns into many more as over time 10 more figures step out from behind her. She can sense ill will from these beings, and suddenly with a flash of lightning she is consumed by the storm, waking her.
And standing where you are, the storm begins to overtake the entirety of the sky above you. You glance back now to the farmhouse and you see it now falls under shadow. What semblance of a blue sky that usually was what drew you to safety is starting to fade. What do you do?
I don't know what to do anymore. I walk forward.
You take another step, and another. Your eyes sting from the wind. All around you is just this landscape of endless black and red. The light begins to darken. You feel alone, and then you're not. Before you, you see a shape, a shadow, standing there. A woman, strong, defiant. And you watch as other outlines step out from behind it. 2, 4, 8. With a loud crack, the storm consumes you, cold, and traps your body. Darkness takes your sight, your mind, and you wake up.
Later that night, the group reconvene at the Twilight Mirror Museum, facing their opponents in this heist game known as The Verdict. The episode ends as Yvonne shouts "Go!" The first group to collect the set of earrings by sunrise wins. Nice! Overall, a good setup episode of Critical Role. So many plot threads are beginning to intercede right now. It's so fun to watch Matt at work with how he weaves these narratives together. So, what the is up with Imogen and Ruidus? It's my favorite part of the episode time, speculation time. So we know very little about Ruidus, but from what we do know, it seems to contain some sort of magical powers, able to pass on psychic-like powers to those being Ruidus born. As well, we know from excerpts of Matt's upcoming D&D book, Call of the Netherdeep, which is very much intertwined with the moon of Ruidus. This book is said to involve Elixium, a character we learned about in this episode, a hero of legend that was said to be Ruidus born. The Netherdeep specifically, from what we know, is a large planar-like rift beneath Ank'Harel that pulses with red light. I'm guessing that Ruidus has the ability to weaken gaps between planes possibly, and the storm in Imogen's dream maybe rips this barrier between the planes asunder, allowing beings to cross over. Ruidus is described as having alien-like power, so it's possible these beings are maybe from Ruidus, or perhaps they themselves are Ruidus born from another plane, or perhaps maybe they worship Ruidus, or maybe it's even worse than that, and this unknown woman figure is some kind of pre-calamity entity possibly coming to conquer the material plane. Either way, it doesn't really seem good. It's all very kind of eldritch-y, spacey type magic and themes. The ideas and tropes of psionic powers coming from the heavens or alien technology somehow. It's kind of got some Githyanki vibes to it, not saying that's what this is, this definitely seems like Matt's own thing. As well, I found this passage that describes the Netherdeep as a terrifying cross between the far realm and the deep ocean. So it's possible these creatures could be from this realm, but see, the line deep ocean really bothered me. I keep thinking back to that endless fountain that Fearne went into. What if that wasn't actually the plane of water, but the Netherdeep the entire time? That's probably not right. Before we end, I just want to give a little shout out to Laura Bailey and Liam O'Brien for carrying this episode. Laura with her amazing acting, which no one should be surprised about in these dream sequences. I mean, Jesus, Laura, literally tugging on my heartstrings with this one. And Liam, with his character Orem, was really on par today, rolling big numbers. Definitely the MVP. Without him, many of these skill checks and events probably wouldn't have even happened. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I'm loving all this big backstory reveal and speculation we've been getting lately. As always, if you enjoyed the video or learned something new, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Click a video on screen now. And as always, I will see you guys in the next one. Stay safe out there. Peace, love. Atu.